What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. In today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what Trick Dempsey has helped me do over the weekend to further explain specialization ammo within PvP. I understand that it was Halloween. A lot of people were busy posting, whatever, trick-or-treaters or Halloween costumes, what have you. But on Halloween, Trick Dempsey actually answered me on Twitter and has helped me further explain specialization ammo within PvP. The reason for all of this and the root cause was that last week we did get our first initiative annex where they were giving us information about the new update that's coming out in February and different aspects of this update, one of them being a specialization revamp. Now, a lot of people were confused about this annex that was given out to everyone. They either reread it, read it wrong, what have you, and a lot of it just stemmed all of these different rumors and just false, I don't know, misleading fear-mongering. A lot of it all had to center around PvP, specialization ammo, in particular, the Dark Zone. So on Twitter over the weekend, I got tagged, and let me shout out this person, that way they get their recognition. Will on Twitter tagged me and a few other content creators and said this: after reading the Annex article, many of us are confused about the part concerning specialization weapons and other players. I believe that this is a buff of sorts coming to all players, Claire to, clarify. And a lot of this, Will was talking about how way back in Title Update 8, there was a buff to players and named enemies against specialization ammo, a resistance. And he believed that way back in TU8, players and named enemies were like 50% resistant to specialization ammo. Now, I replied to him, and I was confused by this Title Update 8 comparison, because the way Trick Dempsey explained this in the annex was that players will be considered invulnerable to specialization ammo at certain points to negate ambushes or some sort of toxic behavior with specialization ammo within PvP. So I replied, and I was basically asking, hey man, can you clarify on this? And he said when TU8 dropped, named enemies became more resilient towards these weapons. Now the article states in the annex that players will have, similar characteristics as these named enemies towards specialization ammo. And I said, yeah man, just reread that part where it talks about the named enemies, and players are going to be treated exactly like those named enemies. I've been saying this for several days now, where a lot of people were saying, oh man, specialization ammo in the Dark Zone is going to be so toxic, someone's just going to walk up behind me and shoot me, with a demo shot or a noob tube, whatever they want to call it, and they're just going to kill everyone instantly, the Dark Zone's going to be toxic, blah blah blah. And I have been trying to defend Trick Dempsey and the devs in saying that no, this is not the case. It clearly states in the annex that people will not just get jumped with specialization ammo, that it's not going to work that way. So, what I did on Twitter is I shouted out Trick Dempsey. And I did within that thread, and I said, hey Trick, a lot of people are confused by the terminology that was used in the annex. Can you help me explain this to people, because I am trying to defend the annex, but it's getting hard because there are a lot of people confused. And I will admit, I jumped on Jacob's stream, I jumped on Bishop Boa's stream, I even jumped on my own stream And there's people that are constantly, oh, well, the DZ's just going to be toxic now with specialization ammo. That is not the case. You guys didn't read it properly. And not only that, but 99% of you that were sitting there saying that it's going to be toxic and it's going to be this or that, I asked you personally, did you read the annex? And all of them said no. All of them. Not one person spreading these lies or rumors actually even read the annex. So it was really like a palm to forehead moment where it's like, geez, like these guys are just spreading these false rumors. They're not reading the annex for themselves. And, one person that skimmed over it was like, oh, great, this is going to be toxic. And then everyone else is like, this is going to be toxic. This is going to be toxic. It's not. Trick clearly explained it in the annex. So, all right, fast forward to yesterday. I sent that to Trick. I said, hey, man, hey, please hit me up. Let me know what's going on. And, we can help the community. And she did explain. So, and these are straight from Trick Dempsey. This says, specialization weapons will be reintroduced in the Dark Zone and in Conflict, but agents will have the same signature weapon damage resistance as named enemies. Also, a system is being added to characters making them temporarily vulnerable to signature weapon damage. And then Trick explained further, since it was brought up in the thread, the current signature weapon damage reduction to named enemies is 65%. We're looking at whether we'll increase this resistance now as it applies to players as well. So, as of right this second, they have not released the update. But as of right this second, the way it would be if it was released today is that players and named enemies would be resistant to specialization ammo up to 65%. Now, Trick clearly states here that they are looking at whether they should increase that even further to help negate those ambush situations where a whole team with, grenade launchers could just walk around the Dark Zone and doop, 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 and then everyone's dead. So, this is still being worked on. This is still being tested. This is not coming out for a few months. So a lot of you just take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and remember that they are still tweaking this. However, specialization ammo is coming to the Dark Zone and Conflict. It's already in Conflict. I don't know why Trick had to say Conflict because it's still in Conflict right now. But the way it is in the Dark Zone coming with this update, we're going to be resistant at least 65% to the specialization ammo. At least. And there will be points within, I guess engagements or the Dark Zone where we will be basically invulnerable. Now, so let's talk about this. I'm done reading the tweets off my phone. So, thinking of it that way, basically what I'm gathering is that maybe as soon as you spawn into the Dark Zone, you can't just automatically get one hit by a specialization ammo. I'm thinking maybe it's some sort of, if you shoot 3 demo shots at one person, maybe one of those shots becomes invulnerable. I'm not sure. However, the way it is as of right now is that players will be treated just like named enemies when it comes to specialization ammo. So there will be at least a 65% reduction in damage to players, just like named enemies. Now, I really hope I helped explain this. If you want to read the tweets for yourself, I have them on my Twitter page. So just look me up on Twitter at Kamikazevondoom. This is where I talk to a lot of the developers. I talk to some of the directors, whether it be Yannick or Terry Spire, and I ask a lot of questions to, all the other developers, whether it be about environmental stuff, whether it be about old school survival stuff. I mean, the list goes on. So if you want to be up to date with all this news, like as soon as it happens, make sure you follow us on Twitter, and you can get all that information as soon as we get it. But as far as that, happy Halloween, or let me go back. As Trick Dempsey says, happy Spooks Day. Whatever that means over there. But yeah, I hope everyone is having, a good start to their week. Obviously, this was not my Manic Mondays episode. I will be doing that later on today. So stay tuned for that. And I will also be releasing a build video later on tonight. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a quick summary, a lot of people were confused about bringing specialization ammo back into the Dark Zone. They thought it would be toxic. They thought it would bring back, old memories of ambushing people and killing them instantly. And that will not be the case. They are still working and tweaking the, different details of which it's going to, affect or not affect players. However, Trick did clearly state that they are working on it. It will not be toxic, and they are trying to figure out how much damage, players and named enemies should take from specialization ammo. So it sounds like they actually might tweak it up to at least, 75% resilient from specialization ammo, but we'll see. We will see. But as far as I'm concerned, this is good news. Specializations needed a revamp badly. So much so that I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even on my radar. I was just, thinking that they would do something with builds and gear and stuff like that. And it didn't even dawn on me that specializations are very underutilized. And it's like a very monotone. Like, why am I wearing sharpshooter right now? Well, I'm wearing sharpshooter right now because it helps target acquisition, stability, and accuracy on my weapons. And I'm on console, so it's a little bit harder to stay stable, accurate, and have really good target acquisition, unlike, on PC. So you run sharpshooter, you get a little bonus, and you're good to go. I mean, as far as that goes, when the specializations revamp comes out, hopefully I should be able to use whatever specialization I want and still have the target acquisition. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, and like Trick Dempsey has said, a lot of this is still under review. They are still testing it out, and they are still trying to tweak whatever details it is to make sure it is not broken when it is released. They are well aware that bringing it back to the Dark Zone is making a lot of people, remember the past. They're making them, have little PTSD flashbacks. And I agree. I mean, it sucked in year one when we had specializations in the Dark Zone. And, everyone is afraid for a good purpose because it really did suck that year one. And that's why they took it out of the game for year two. So these are all steps in the right direction. I like to thank Trick Dempsey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She has been nothing but helpful throughout this entire thing. So thank you again to Trick Dempsey for answering my tweets and help clarifying specialization ammo within PvP. I hope everyone enjoyed it. You can join the discussion down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, have a good day. Peace.